Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of the Full Out Cheer podcast. If you missed last week, this is my opportunity to let you know this is the Fireside Chat podcast, but we have rebranded.
This is wild.
Next week, I'm actually going to talk about how to do a rebranding effectively in your gym. But yeah, go listen to last week's episode, the first few minutes. It's like a little tear to my eye that it's not called the Fireside Chat podcast anymore, but I'm also super excited for the opportunity to actually have the name Cheer in our podcast so more people can find us and listen and learn how to grow their gyms.
This is so exciting! Isn't this exciting?
Backtracking, I'm Danielle, and I'm your host for today's episode. I am excited, guys, to be talking to you today about back to school and how to hijack all that hype. There is so much excitement when it comes to kids and parents with back to school, unless you have teenagers, and then there's like a pity party that happens about a week before school starts. That's what I'm experiencing right now with a 15-year-old.
Oh, you poor thing.
However, I want to talk about how to make it a more exciting time in your gym and capitalize on those back to school enrollments. If you're like me, you have seen a back to school upswing for a lot of years, maybe until last year, because that's what happened in my gym. Every year, back to school was like a no-brainer, so easy to get those enrollments. We didn't even have to do anything. It wasn't just me that saw that trend change last year. In fact, a year ago, we worked with iClass and we did a case study about the back to school rush that most gyms had usually seen. And what we found in that study was that majority of gyms actually did not see that back to school rush in 2024.
That's surprising.
Moving into 2025, this is the perfect time to talk about how do you capitalize on it. And if you guys have already gone back to school, because perhaps you're one of those gyms in the South that goes back at absurd times of the year, like the end of July, it is not too late. Anytime in the first 30 days of going back to school, these strategies can be easily implemented. And while I'll use a timeline of what would be ideal, you can still press forward and see huge results with them, even if you're already back to school. So let's get started. Okay, so this time of year can be absolute gold for gym owners, but you have to get up and actually do stuff.
Sit around here all day. You contribute nothing to society.
You have got to get your marketing in order. You have got to get planning going. You have got to get started, and I mean now, if you want to see all of the results from back to school promotions. So, number one, get your ads going on Facebook early. If your kids have not gone back to school and they are not going back to school until after Labor Day, you still have plenty of time. I do recommend in 2 to 4 weeks out from school beginning is when you are ideal to start running your ads. If the kids have already gone back and you're not running ads, get them going now. For me, after 4th of July, I kind of start to look and I start to see when all the back to school items start coming out at Walmart. I'm in a tiny town of 20,000 people, so guys, let Target be your guide. But for me, it is what's happening in those aisles at the front of the store at Walmart. Right now, it is starting to get full of back to school items. The back to school lists are coming out. I'm seeing people in community groups asking, do you have the list for so-and-so elementary? People's brains are really starting to get on this. And I mentioned in last week's episode that I have a before and after school program at my gym, and we have seen significant growth in the past couple of weeks because people are thinking about it now. So those ads ideally would be going about 2 to 4 weeks out. We're looking for something simple. New member special, back to school special, now enrolling, back to school stuff. Like, you don't have to really make this anything crazy. It doesn't have to be a super fancy ad. For a lot of you guys, you're probably going to get better engagement and better clicks with a video. For whatever reason, here in the middle of Missouri, I still do better when I have a photo or a photo with like minor animations. It's important that you guys are gathering those great photos in your gym right now. something colorful. If you need to use stock, that's fine. Let me give you one little hint. You can actually upload your logo and you can actually get like an AI image of an athlete wearing a t-shirt and a bow from your gym. If you're a brand new gym or you're like, man, I just don't have great imagery, go to ChatGPT and ask it to do some work for you.
It's a robot uprising. Call police.
It's better that you have fantastic images than that you have kind of crappy images of, coaches with poor body language or super grainy or pixelated or something like that. You need good high quality images, and that is so easy to get today. Your message needs to hit some of the pain points. So it needs to be focusing on making new friends and learning new skills and learning that self-discipline, having coaches who are great mentors. If you have kids who are coming into the gym, the parents are likely looking for some of these things. They're going to say that they're looking for their kids to get new skills. But if you break it down, really nobody is coming to your gym. Maybe those higher level athletes that are coming from somewhere else, or an athlete who wants to get her back handspring because she wants to try out for basketball cheer or whatever it is. But this time of year, most people just want to get involved in an activity of some kind. They want their kids to build healthy social skills. They want them to get fit, and they want them to be involved and have friends. And so hit those pain points with the verbiage in your ads. And if you're struggling, go to ChatGPT for the copy. Still today, I have actually looked up this data because I was curious. Still about 70 to 75% of people, though they recognize that it's ChatGPT writing the copy for things, they're not horribly turned off by it. I think I'm in that 25%, and maybe it's because I use ChatGPT that I cannot stand to have the 7,000 emojis and the overly cheesy language. So if you're like me, play it safe, get ChatGPT to write a basic outline for you of what you want to say, and then type it out. Or save your time entirely and appeal to the 75% of people that do not mind ChatGPT copy at all. Make sure that you have a landing page or a web page that is super simple. I clicked on an ad today for another gym that I was doing a review on their social media and their email marketing, and I clicked it, and I actually had the gym owner on Zoom with me, and she saw me kind of scroll back and forth. Like I clicked to register here, and then I struggled to find how do I actually register for this particular event. So build yourself a web page or a landing page that is going to be specific for that ad. Or if you have Cheer Gym marketing, tell us, hey, I need my ad, I need this page refreshed so that I can get my back to school stuff going. Lots of great options on there. If you have never run ads before, it's going to take a little bit of time to pick up traction, but this is a wonderful time of year to do it. So don't stress if you're like, oh man, I'm getting 20 clicks every day or two. That's great. If people are clicking on the ad, let it build that traction. If you're someone who has run ads and you kind of know what the baseline is, that you should be getting 70 clicks a day and you're only getting 20, then you can start split testing. But if you're that person, you probably know how to do some troubleshooting on your ads. Okay, number 2, and I'm going to speak on this super briefly because I did an entire episode on it last week. And I did that episode so that you could start planning ahead now. Go schedule an open house. I told you all about how we run an open house. We've had as little as 19 athletes register in one day and as many as 26 in that day. Open house is a great opportunity to get face-to-face with potential members of your gym and allow those parents to meet you and to honestly test out your ability to sell. They're not coming to your gym because they don't want to be sold on something. They're coming to your gym because they're looking for a solution to a problem they may not realize they have. And you want to make sure that they recognize if you happen to be that solution. Also, you have so many opportunities. Open house doesn't just have to be an opportunity to enroll somebody into classes or to put them on teams. It can be your chance to advertise your birthday parties, because if you're like me, October to March are kind of the biggest times of the year that we're doing parties. And so why not in August Make sure that people know that you have birthday parties. They can come check out the facility and get their date on the calendar early. We've had people book parties 11 months out before. Why not get those people to pay their deposit and get registered and make sure that they have the right date now at the beginning of the school year before things get chaotic? Also, if you have things like an after-school program, or you have handspring clinics coming up, or Nerf nights, or any of those other events, open house is like the perfect place to advertise those. And maybe you can't get somebody to register for classes because they're checking out, 2 or 3 other after school activities, but you can get them to sign up for an upcoming clinic. So hint there, make sure you have plenty of introductory things that you can do in the fall so that you can get people registered even if they're not ready to start classes. So the fall can be a wonderful time to get kids set up for a level 1 beginner clinic on Saturdays for 2 hours. If you're in the Next Gen Academy, then you now have access to our Saturday Skills Clinics guide, where you can actually learn how do we run these clinics and sell them out on Saturdays. Things like Nerf nights, family fun nights, ninja nights, Frozen dance camp, stuff like that can get kids who maybe don't realize they would be interested in your program in the door.
It's party time!
Those kind of prospect lead gathering opportunities are a great way to get them in the door early on, even if they're going to be in another activity in the fall, so that you can keep them engaged in your gym throughout the school year. Okay, number 3, hack the school system. Figure out what events are coming up or how you can get into the schools. Whether this is that you are going to sponsor something with the PTO, we have a banner that goes up at all the high school football games, and actually it's pretty great because we're a sponsor for Warrensburg High School athletics, and so we get the 2 booster passes, which I would have to pay to get into every game anyway to watch my daughter, so it kind of works out really nicely. Can you be at upcoming back to school nights or fall festivals? Start talking to teachers or counselors or the PTO now. We actually have in a couple weeks, Melanie, our gym manager, will be going to one of the local schools and passing out pencils, and we have these little like squishy footballs and stuff like that, and also some brochures with information about our gym. This is a great opportunity to get in there if the schools will allow you. And sometimes you have to give in order to receive. And so we asked, can we be part of this? And the school said yes. And then they called the next day and said, would you consider paying for one of the teacher or sponsoring one of the teacher luncheons that we do this year? And so of course we said yes. It's a give and take there. So make sure that you're going both directions with what you're willing to give in exchange for what you're willing to get.
It's all about give and take.
Sometimes you do have to give for a year or two before they will give you back. So it kind of leads me to the question that I get a lot, which is it worth it to be sponsoring things within the schools? And my answer to that is it depends. You may have to test it out. You may have to try it for a year or two and create that, allow that little bit of investment to see if it's worth it. I think it was last year or the year before, we paid maybe $500 to get an ad in the folder of every kid who went to one of the local elementary schools. And I guess that was going to be like their take it home folder with them, every day. I don't really think I got a big ROI out of that, so we won't do it again. At the same time, we've been asked, they sell these I can't remember, it's called a Major Saver card, and I can't remember if it's the band or the football team or whoever, the elementary kids that sell them for a fundraiser within the school. And they ask us every year, are you willing to put something on it? And you have to do a giveaway. So we do buy one into daytime playtime and get one free. We've done some of our other events and stuff like that as well. Those have been totally worth it to me because they pull out that card and they see our logo on it every time. They can see that we have daytime playtime. And so for me, doing a giveaway like that has been a bigger return on our investment. So ask the questions, but also know that you may have to try it once or twice to see if it's going to work before you actually know if that was a good investment. And if you're a smaller program or you don't have a budget like that, it's okay to say no until you do have a budget like that. You know, in the beginning, like we had so many people asking us to sponsor this high school's yearbook and sponsor this kid in her beauty pageant and all this stuff. And we kind of had to create tiers. Like in my mind, I had to create tiers of what took priority. For me, anything that was going to get us out there with the elementary school crowd took priority. Secondly, it was anything that someone was directly asking us who was a current member of our, like longtime member of our gym. And then very last is somebody who is not a member of our gym, probably not going to be the best leads. And I would say 99% of the time, the answer is no. So a high school yearbook, unless it's the school that my kids go to, that we have a whole bunch of our athletes that attend, it's probably not worth it for me to do an ad there because I'm not really targeting 15-year-old high school kids. Like, I want the kids that are 6, 7, 8 years old so that they can grow up in the gym, not the 15-year-olds that have a year or two before they decide that they want to go get a job and work and do all those things. So really like prioritize those things when it comes to getting involved in the schools. Number 4, throw a back to school bash. We did this so many years. We're talking about doing like the schools out bash. The only reason is because in October, we have our huge trunk or treat that happens. We have a huge parade that like 10,000 people go to, and it's like a big deal for us. We have our huge showcase, like lots and lots of activities and events that go on in like September, October. So though we're not going to host Back to School Bash this year, if you don't have all of those things or your showcase is like an end of season spring showcase, then you need a fall event. Get somebody with a petting zoo or pony rides and face paint and stuff like that. Set up in your parking lot. We did it tons of years. Get somebody out there with food trucks. Offer tumbling demos. Get your stunt groups to come out there with some music and do stunt performances. And make it something that like the first Friday after school goes back into session or the first Saturday morning that school's back in session. If you're like Friday Night Lights football community, okay? Don't compete with major things that are going on, but offer a back to school bash and make it a huge activity, not just for the kids in your gym, but for others who can then become a member of your gym, like be a part of something fun. A lot of times, if it's a free event like that, schools will actually allow you to put flyers into the schools as well. Offering a free event like that is literally genius so that you can get flyers early on in the school year while parents are still paying attention to them. Number 5, offer a spirit day for the members in your gym. So you know how like if you're in high school and you're a high school cheerleader on Friday, you have to wear your uniform to school. Well, is there something that you can offer like second or third week of school where it's going to be Twister's Spirit Day? And everybody needs to wear their Twister stuff to school that day and take pictures and post it on social media and hashtag, and you're going to do a contest. This is stuff that right around back to school time, number 1, you can sell more apparel in your gym for back to school. Number 2, you're showing the same kind of spirit that they have for school spirit weeks and for football season and stuff like that. And so do these, have some great prize that somebody gets, and anybody who does that hashtag is entered in a drawing and you're going to draw for whoever wins the prize. But like play off of what the schools are already doing, which is spirit for the school itself. Offer it and have them wear your apparel to school because it, again, builds your brand, and it's going to allow, now that the kids are back in school, everybody's going to see, oh my gosh, you're at Twisters and you're at Twisters and you're at Twisters. Like, how cool is that to see so many of your friends that go there? And I can tell you right now, my daughter, when she was in kindergarten, did a cartwheel and some kid said to her, how do you do that? Like, how did you know? And my 5-year-old knew to say, twistersports.com. And her mom came and registered, that friend. Her mom came and registered and did competitive cheer with us for years. Like, she didn't walk in the door and say, I want competitive cheer, but like she started in our tumbling program and then migrated to competitive cheer. Now she's in high school and she plays volleyball, but she was in our program for years, all because a kid did a cartwheel out on the playground. So small things like that that can build your brand and teach kids how to tell their friends all about your gym. Okay, guys, this is not rocket science. This is easy stuff, but you have to capitalize on it and you have to start planning ahead so that you can really build up some hype with back to school. Hopefully you guys got a couple of great ideas with open house, some back to school events, getting into the schools, having a spirit day, and running some Facebook ads. If there's anything that NextGen can help you with, maybe you don't know how to run Facebook ads. We are experts at running Facebook ads, and I would be happy to help you through the NextGen Academy. This is why we offer one-on-one coaching, because I can't just teach a class and let that class sit out there forever of how to run ads, because everyone's Facebook meta is different. And if you don't believe me, just go find a friend and say, let's Zoom and try Facebook meta together. People's look different because you have beta testing that's in there. Some people have it set up differently. Some people don't even have their business account set up because they just don't know how. And that's okay. Boosting a post is different than running an ad, and we can help you to know the difference and know how to do the things that will grow your gym. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure that you head over to nextgenowners.com. And most importantly, go check out our CheerBiz Accelerator, where we are going to do a deep dive into gyms. Guys, you can go visit in October. You can visit Dan's gym in Portland, Oregon, and spend 2 days doing a deep dive into your gym from his gym, where you're getting to see systems and daily operations and learn how to run your gym from another location. And then come back in January to Warrensburg, Missouri. It's a real party around here, guys. Fly into Kansas City, come over here to Warrensburg and check out my gym for a couple of days. And yeah, just get connected. I would love to meet you guys and connect at the CheerBiz Accelerator. So if that's something you're interested in, head over to cheerbizaccelerator.com. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Full Out Cheer podcast. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next episode.